to reverse its recent decision on exporting raw and processed macadamia to the international market. Now, right here at Kenya's Gold, we have spoken to seed propagators, we have spoken to farmers as well, and today we want to open the floor to processors so that we can get a better understanding on what we need to do so that every single person in the value chain of macadamia is singing the same song. And to shed more light on that, we do have the distinct honor of being joined by, on my far right, Mr. Kobia Mwiti, who is the Deputy Chair at the McNuts Association of Kenya. We also do have Bernard Sitati. Thank you so very much for making time to be here, Treasurer at the McNuts Association of Kenya. And on my immediate left, we do have Nicholas Njeru, who is the CEO Jumbo Nuts Meru and also a member of the McNuts Association of Kenya. Thank you so much for being here this evening right here at Kenya's Gold, and we're definitely just going to jump straight into the conversation.
Na wacha ni kwenda moja kwa moja kwako Sitati. Swala hili ambalo tunaona katika vyombo vya habari kuhusiana na direct export na zile tunafanya raw, tunaona moja kwa moja ni kero, lakini tukisema kero ni kwa kiwango kipi?
Asante sana bwana Terrell. Kero. Wakati tengeza macadamia kwenye factory, kwa kizungu inaitwa value addition, yeah. Ikienda kule nje, bei itakuwa faa, yeah. Hii inamaanisha tutapata percentage ama asilimia zaidi ya kuuza mbegu ambayo imekaushwa tu na ipeleke ikiwa ndani ya shell. Yeah.
All right. Now, we want to get a lot more into that conversation. However, it kind of feels like different value players in the macadamia sector have different opinions about this. And that is exactly what we want to get into. But for now, I want Mr. Kobia Mwiti to talk to us about the McNuts Association, given that it was recently launched. It's now about 4 months old. We want to get to understand what role did the McNuts Association come to play, and why was it very necessary to launch this association about 4 months ago?
Okay, thank you, Ngena. McNuts Association of Kenya is an association that was formed in May 2024. Its main objective is to improve the production of macadamia in Kenya, both from the farm level to the processing level and the international level. And it's an association body that incorporates both processors, farmers, and other players along the value chain. The main objective of McNuts Association of Kenya is placing the Kenyan macadamia brand in the international market as the leading brand, because the Kenyan macadamia nut is the best quality macadamia in the world. So that is the main objective of the McNuts Association of Kenya.
So do you work hand in hand with, say, like the World Macadamia Organization, whose also mandate is to increase competitiveness of our macadamia?
Yes, thank you for that question. Yes, we are working together with the World Macadamia Organization so that we can be able to increase the global macadamia market. Then as the global macadamia market increases, the same for the Kenyan macadamia brand growth.
Okay. Unaposikiliza Mwiti Kobe akizungumza ni kana kwamba ni swala lazima tunataka kujenga kule mbele, lakini tuje katika swala la agronomy. Kama upande wa agronomy, mnafanya nini kuhakikisha kwamba ile nafasi ya kwenda mbele na kupata nafasi kubwa kama macadamia ya Kenya mataifa nje, ni kipi ambacho mnazingatia nyinyi?
Asante sana. Ningetaka kusema macadamia kwa wakulima, as processors we have a strategy, because what we sell is the quality, and therefore we have been working continuously to ensure that what comes as end product is of high quality and is what represents our product, our Kenyan product. The quality begins at the farm level. So tunafanya kazi na wakulima, tunawaelimisha. Kwanza tunawatengenezea improved varieties of the crop, because you realize when you walk around Some farmers have traditional varieties, others have improved varieties. We have worked over the years to be able to improve, to give farmers improved varieties which are early maturing and have enhanced production. It has been a continuous process, and we hope finally we will transit to all farmers having at least some trees which are of improved variety. We also look at cross-pollination. We are not going to eliminate the traditional varieties entirely, because a farmer needs to produce more than one variety for the maximum, for what we call optimal pollination, which has a bearing on the yield of the crop. So we have a very robust and elaborate extension program, working with the farmers, the county government, and even the national government to be able to revolutionize the production at the farm level.
Still at it, Mr. Nicholas, allow me to ask, when you mentioned we have the farmers who are doing, of course, the indigenous varieties, and now we have the hybrid varieties, which are very high on demand. Even if you look at now China and all these international markets, they're going for the grafted varieties. Yes. What is the sustainability? What is the future like for that farmer who's still doing indigenous when it comes to the international market? Are they going to be able to survive the market for very many years, or what's the way forward?
Yeah, as processors, we do not discriminate produce from the farmer. We endeavor to buy as much as possible so that the farmer, we are able to accommodate all types of macadamia with the farmers. However, grafted varieties are of premium grade. They are the ones that gives us the right size, because macadamia grading is achieved by sizing. So find the bigger the nut, the more the premium grade you generate. So as processors, if you are left alone to buy the traditional, you might not be able to generate some styles which are premium and which brings more revenue. So what we are advocating is the farmer minimizes on traditional and maximizes on improved varieties, so that we have a ratio of, say, 70 grafted to 30 traditional. But as the situation starts now, we are at 50-50. Which means 50% of the national production, about 25 million kilos produced by the farmers, comes from traditional. We want to transit to 70-30 so that we are able to service the market that requires premium grades.
Okay. Na ndaomba ujibu kwa lugha ambayo ni rahisi kwako, usikwamilie sana Kiswahili. Swali langu ambalo linajitokeza hapo kulingana na namna nazungumza ni kwamba wakati mnazungumza katika kwa vyombo vya habari mkasema kwamba wale watu ambao wanatoka mataifa ya nje kununua sana macadamia wanunua grafted. Soko la macadamia indigenous likoje, na ukizingatia kwamba bado kuna wakulima ambao wanafuatilia ile indigenous kwa sasa? Tumia lugha yote ambayo unahisi rahisi.
Kiswahili tu. Indigenous bado ziko na soko, right? For as long as sisi kama processors wale wa local bado tupo. Unielewa? Kwa sababu sisi hatuna ubaguzi wakati tunanunua mbegu. Ama tukinunua macadamia hatununui kwa ubaguzi, hatusemi tunataka grafted. Na ukiangalia hawa processors wote wanajaribu vile amesema kubuild capacity ya wakulima wawe na mimea ambazo zinazalisha zaidi na haswa grafted, right? So kulingana na swali lako, sisi hatubagui. Sisi tunanunua mbegu zote. Lakini wale wanatoka nje wanakuja na ile mind yao ya kununua tu ile grafted peke yake.
Alright.
Haya, juu ya hapo, hiyo grafted si hata unachukua yote. Wamekuja na mashine za kutoa mbegu mbaya ambayo tunaachiwa. Hawa wanapeleka premium kwa nchi zao. La pili, si ati processor, nadhani nimetembea kwenye factory. Processor, ile investment amefanya kwenye factory ni kubwa. Si ati ameweka tu dryers peke yake. Kuna dryer, kuna cracker, kuna packing machine, alafu kuna vijana ambao wanashughulika. Hawa kazi yao ni kununua hiyo nut shell, wanabagua, wanatoa ile mbaya, wanaweka kwa dryer, wanaweka kwa container, wanapeleka ngambo. Na ile wanapeleka ngambo ndio hiyo quality nzuri.
All right, now moving to you, Mr. Kobia, a lot of farmers believe that a binary system can work. we can export nut in shell, and we can also process. And this is because of we have those top producing countries like South Africa and Australia having that system work. Maybe you can talk to us about what is it about these countries, what are they doing that makes a binary system work that as of now it's a challenge to achieve the same in our country, so that we're also very clear on why we are not for the government's, permission to export our nut in shell as is. Help us understand the binary systems.
Okay, the binary system is whereby you have certain countries, especially South Africa and Australia, processing both the nut in shell and the kernel, and processing the kernel. Remember, in Kenya, we have over 200,000 smallholder farmers. In South Africa and Australia, we find South Africa as like 800 farmers, but large-scale farmers. Farmer minimum is 300 acres, 400 acres.
And here our farmers, mostly the acres are about?
Even some 2-3 trees.
All right.
So now that was what makes the binary system work in the South African industry. Remember, these farmers, because they are doing it on commercial levels, they're able to invest in the farm. Their produce is totally grafted varieties. Then the way the model works is that the farmer takes the produce to the factory. Once the factory has sold the produce is when the farmers are paid. In Kenya, that model can't work because our farmers need the money at the point of purchase, at the farm gate. That is where they need the money. But also to note, even the South Africa and Australia are moving more on the kernel because they have realized the value that they have been losing by selling the nut in shell. Remember also the Chinese market, the kernel consumption has increased. Actually now the kernel consumption is higher than the nut in shell. So some of even the nut in shell that is leaving Kenya is going for further value addition in China. So basically what we are doing, we have basically exported our macadamia and our jobs. And remember, these are young men and women. These facilities employ over 80% young men and women. So we have exported our raw material and also exported our jobs.
Okay.
Right.
Shikilia papo hapo kwa sababu ya muda, najua tarejelea swala la ajira kwa miongoni mwa vijana na vile vile Nicholas hapo nafasi ndakupatia, lakini kwa sasa tunachukua mapumziko. Tukirejea kungali kuna mengi kabisa, ufafanuzi mkubwa kuhusiana na makadamia. Kuna kizungumkuti ambacho kinashuhudiwa katika sekta hiyo kwa sasa, ni kipi ambacho kinafanywa kutatua swala hilo zima. Tuende mapumzikoni.
Kenya's Gold.